Sunday.
Okay. Am I still breaking up?
No.
Well, you were a little bit.
Longer.
Talk longer.
Okay, I'll
Finish
talk
your
a little
sentences.
bit longer. All right,
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Finish.
When I turn down my...
No.
Yes, go on.
No, I can't perform tonight then. Sorry.
No, yes, you can. Just go up on the stage. I'll tell you what you do. Just come up on stage, lift your skirt, and talk, and we'll be fine. Okay, there you go. Oh, yes. So somehow we got stuff working. What none of you know is that just less than an hour ago, only half my equipment was working, the lower half.
Yeah.
So anyhow, there you go. Everybody having a good time tonight? It's Tuesday, right? God.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Yes.
As always.
Orchid wanted to know what these tats were here on these hands. I just thought it was cool to put it out, especially with the be the best version of you, and then this person thought this was the best version of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's only forever, not long at all.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
Gee.
I get this great fear, when you pass away, you end up with the little spinning wheel of Apple for the rest of eternity. waiting for eternity to load. Yeah, right. Oh, yes, sirree. All right. Hello. Is it Ein Ariel? Ein Ariel? Serion. Yes. Hello. Hello, Broly. Come on in. Hello, Smoke. Good to see you. Yes. Hello. Yeah. What a crowd we've got here, and we have no show, which is the best of all shows. No show to go.
Yes.
Yep.
29 people on the sim.
29 people. You call these people? I call them freaks.
Those freaks are all our friends. Yeah, those are our friends.
Oh, I got sounds going here. All of a sudden I heard somebody playing the national anthem of I don't know where. Yep. Yeah, Assad turned in all of his chemical weapons. You might have seen that this week. He went into the bathroom and pulled out all the old aerosol spray cans he had. So bad. We got to make up stuff tonight. Nothing else going to happen because I got no stuff going on. Oh.
Who's got that noise coming up every few minutes?
What noise?
Coming out of sounds. Just turn sounds off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just mute all sounds, voice, media, music, sounds, ambient, everything. The show's great. Hello, Miranda.
Catboy,
Donna, you look
have
lovely.
you got something going on where you are?
A TV? Maybe. In the
Do you hear anything?
A game.
Yes,
well,
when you're talking.
I hear something. I don't.
Yeah, we hear a major television going on.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. It could be my. I'm sorry, the TV's on in the other room.
It's his roommate, Mr. Cat. Catman. He's out the other room.
That was me.
Is that you? God,
TV's
sounds
on
like
in
you
the
were.
other room. Yeah. Oh, it's.
Yep, that's your sound.
Okay.
All right. Hello, Taralyn. You doing all right? Everybody
Hey.
ready for? Yeah. You gonna do any comedy tonight? You want to do any comedy tonight, Taralyn?
At some point. Yeah.
Wow.
Sometime when I'm older.
Boy, the floor hasn't rezzed for me in this place. I don't know why.
Try right
there.
clicking on it.
Just right.
Yeah,
right
then I'll make the
click on
entire place disappear. That'd be great.
Capstone event for the evening.
If you're trying to get the skirt to blow up, that's not going to happen.
Well.
Coming up on 5 o'clock.
We're here.
All right, this is it,
30
isn't it?
people.
We are ready to go. All right. Welcome to another show, Lauren and Friends. And then we have Alex Mays playing, if we can find him. Oh, nice applause, nice applause. By the way, if you click on the chairs, you can make applause and all sorts of things happen. All the chairs that you guys are sitting on, if you sit, tap on the cushion, it'll send up sounds and highs. And you guys can all try it. Anybody sitting on a chair can do it. So, here we go. So, everybody's ready, right? We're all in here. Oh, Roger, 990 is here too tonight. And Dr. Fran is going to put a link in so that any of you can go and find out what your avatar looks like as a first life celebrity, all right? Yeah, so you put that link in, all right, Dr. Fran?
Done.
Done? Done. All right, so that's it.
I want that gesture.
So I was having all this computer problem lately. Anybody get any of that stuff? Like I couldn't get this computer to boot up. It was getting stuck and everything. So I went on the other computer and looked at Apple's support staff, and I couldn't believe it. They said reboot it, and then it didn't work. So I looked again. It said reboot it. Kick the fucker. That's what it said. Okay, so I kicked it and it worked. All right. You got to believe that that's where reboot came from, right? Somebody kicked his computer, it started working again, right?
Just kick it again.
Well, there it is. I went to the Apple store, too, this weekend. I don't know if any of you have been there. Yeah. It wasn't as packed as it is. There were people in there looking at AirPads and people bringing in cords, and they're selling all sorts of stuff. And I looked at all these people, and it looks like all the hippies must have owned Apple stock because everybody was wearing very expensive clothing. Yeah, so there's that. Well, hello. We have, God knows, no show tonight, but let's think about what's coming up. Thanksgiving is coming up, all right? Anybody have any Thanksgiving nightmares that you ever remember? Any great ones? Cooking a turkey, right? Anybody ever have to cook a turkey and then send out for dinner, Chinese? Yeah, you did, Broly? What happened to you? Yeah. Turkey blew up in your face. That's great. Broly, let me explain. You cannot put in those plastic, turkeys. You got to get a real one. Oh, you cooked it with all the innards, with the paper and everything, all the stuff stuffed in. You just brought it and threw it in there, right? Power went out in the middle of cooking. There's a good one. Yeah. Had the oven too high. I love it.
One year, one of my siblings turned the oven off. Dinner was a little late that year.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So we've had lots of problems with turkeys Thanksgiving. One person said she couldn't forget the time that her sister-in-law had a bottle of chokeberry wine, opened it, and she started drinking some and spit it all over the room on the walls and everything.
Look at me, I'm a bunny.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this is not going to be that funny tonight, so relax. Because we ran out of all of our jokes. We don't know what happened to them all. They all just disappeared. So we're going to probably go right to other people tonight and pray to God that somebody's got something. And tonight, who was not first last time? Who was first last time? I think Roger 990 was first last time, right?
Yes, he was.
So
yes.
I think so. First this time. When have you? Oh wait, you know who should be first this time because she's got something special for us tonight. Timmery, why don't you come up here, Timmery?
Timmery, bring on.
Come on, Timmery.
Okay.
Come on, Timmery.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
Timmery's going to co-host the show. Yeah.
All right. Yay.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Okay. I'm going to start this time with another blonde joke. I like that. It's in honor of Lauren. What does a blonde say when she finds out she's pregnant? She
I
says,
don't have a clue.
Are you sure it's mine?
Right.
No. Why did the reason I started with that joke is because I have an acquaintance in Second Life who's currently Second Life pregnant. And just listening to her, I've been informed about everything from Second Life maternity clothing to the baby furniture to the role play packages. shapes, it's insane. But if you're anything like me and you don't have the prim count to spare for even a good scripted dog, much less a kid, you got to do the opposite of what she did. So I did a little bit of research that I'm going to tell you about today, and it will help us to, 1, confront these prim infants mano a mano, and 2, determine just how to prevent your lives from becoming tragic after-school specials about single motherhood and second life.
That's awesome.
First, we probably want to start with knowing about where prim babies
really
come
funny.
from. And you probably want me to tell you about that. Well, your father and I have been dreading this moment. When a mommy and daddy avatar love each other very much, they get very, very close to one another. And then one of them logs into the marketplace and buys one of the little bastards. The other things I've discovered about babies include, first of all, that they are ugly. Well, mine wouldn't be, but of course all the rest are. Secondly, breastfeeding animations. There, I said it.
Breastfeeding animation. Oh my God. Right.
Third, birthing centers. If you want to see what happens at these birthing centers, just search YouTube. I did a research for this particular piece, and apparently it involves a lot of particle effects flying out of a soon-to-be mother's hoo-ha. Now, in none of these videos did any of the new parents seem the least bit surprised or concerned about all these particle effects coming out. Now, if particle effects flew out of my kitty, I would be A, terribly surprised, and B, I'd insist on eye protection for the baby. But that's just me.
And the doctor.
Now, you might be thinking to yourself, how can I, having lost my Second Life V card not 5 minutes after the first time I logged in, keep myself from ending up needing a birthing center accidentally? Well, rest assured, there is birth control on the grid.
There is?
There is.
Oh.
That's a shock.
Starting with the handy-dandy fact that newbies aren't issued genital. If human teens came like that, MTV would have to play music videos.
No more pregnant moms.
But what do you do when you manage to get your hands on a freeness?
Freeness. I'm sorry, we're laughing while you're telling the joke.
That's okay. Well, after exploring every Second Life convenience store, medical clinic, and nightclub bathroom in Second Life, I was able to dig up some condoms and condom earrings and condom avatars. But what if Second Life condoms aren't your cup of tea? Well, you might want to visit a Gorian sim and get yourself some slave wine, because supposedly it's the perfect birth control. Never wears off, and it's easily deactivated by drinking breeding wine. Unfortunately, this method of birth control also involves slavery. It's probably not your best bet. So in conclusion, after all of my research, it seems like the best way to keep from having babies in Second Life is the same thing you have to do if you want to avoid having a pet dragon live in your house. Don't buy one. But you guys be careful out there, because thanks to the Second Life marketplace, you could get knocked up even when the grid is down.
Oh, great.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, bravo. Bravo. Way to go. Yeah. I got to tell you, that reminds... Don't you like that? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can get a subway pass and go out with her for a while. you can ride her from lower Manhattan to upper Manhattan and enjoy yourself.
Oh, now, Lauren. Oh.
I remember once you talk about going out in these places that sell genitals and stuff. I remember a couple of different occasions. Once I went to this one place where this guy and this gal were talking or whatever, and he just said, "What about that one?" She said, "Can't you find one that's bigger?" And I laughed so hard. That was pretty good. And the other one, I went to Excite back when you used to have to bring your parts to update. Now none of you know what's going on. Those of you who are new, back the early days of Second Life, if you had these sexual parts, they needed to be updated. You physically had to take them and put it on an update table over at Excite. All right, you had to take them out of your inventory and put them on the table. You remember that, some of you, right? And they'd get updated. You know. Yeah. People be standing around like, I think I saw that one before. No, anyhow. So, so there was this guy with his slave girl, and he pulled out 5, put 5 on the update tables, and she turned to him and says, "I don't recognize that one." You know, you gotta love it. Yeah.
Never seen that
Busted,
one
right?
before. What's up?
Never saw that one before. Yeah. So some of the great things, you know, we've passed. Have we gotten to Easter yet? No, I think we're going into Thanksgiving. Well, this is an Easter joke, okay? So there you go. We'll just move right to Easter. Because people have Christmas stuff out by the end of August now. Has anybody seen that Kmart had Christmas stuff out? You know what it is? It's the shit they had from last year that they didn't sell that they're praying they're going to sell this year. Anybody been in a Kmart store in the last few years? Yeah. So this is what kids. This was one kid put down. He was asked during Lent things to prepare for Easter, and they had a whole 8 different things. It's supposed to check off boxes that things they did. They didn't check off boxes. Number 1 said go to church on Sunday, and he put down next to it, or she, I don't know. I think it might have been a girl. It says because I don't have time. I don't have time to go to church on Sunday. Can you imagine a 4-year-old saying? Also said. Say extra prayers at bedtime. Put down next to that, I'm too tired. Oh, an extra acre is coming in. Oh, my God. It's all right. Thank you, Haley. That's great. Extra acre. I love it. Read about a saint. Too busy. Right. I like this. Pray at the Stations of the Cross. Nope, because I don't know what to say. Collect money for the poor. Sure, because I don't get very much at home. None of these are very good, are they? Okay, that's the end of that shit. All right, let's go on to something else. There we go. That's not very good. All right. Here's one. They had to come up with some vocabulary words. The vocabulary word was exterminate. And the kid wrote down the meaning was, I want to write a sentence. I want to exterminate my mom. All right? Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. You know, these are...
told me to clean
my
room one too many times. She's got to go.
Yeah. Here's one, because this is all Timmery was talking about, all these kids and getting Second Life kids. So this person wrote in on a blog somewhere, my secret, I have a secret, I know. I posted a story about my parents. I do hate them, and I want to tell this secret that I've never told anyone before. I hate them, but with my hatred for them has been so many years, I see them just as a money source and a place to live. That's it. Basically, I'm using them to get what I want. I know it sounds selfish, but I only feel this way because no one else of my friends something, and I can't read the rest of it, right? Yeah. Oh, can you imagine writing that stuff? Yeah, right. Okay. Anyhow, my daughter one time said that, you know, we had abused her and she wanted to turn us into the police, so I put her in the car and drove her to the police station. She didn't say anything. She was shocked that somebody would actually take her in to turn them in. Yeah. So, anyhow, let's see what else we got. Nothing. All right? So if anybody's got any jokes tonight, we're going to get to them because my computer didn't work. What is this? Somebody's Pearly. What do you got on you? Somebody put a balloon on your head? What is that?
I hear someone doing dishes or something.
A condom, right?
I love that.
Yeah. So how many of you new in Second Life? Been here just the last couple months? Anybody here? New? Anyone? Anybody been here just like the last 6 months? No. Okay. How many of you have been here just for the last 10 years? Okay, raise your hands.
There we go.
Yeah. How many of you, you know, disregard your first life friends. You say, I'm really busy tonight. Sorry. What are you doing? I'm going out to Second Life.
Going in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I took my girlfriend into Second Life on Sunday. I showed her around. Yeah. She thought I'm really crazy. I don't know if I'll ever see her again. Wouldn't it be great? You know, right? You finally go out with somebody. They say, where do you want to go? And you bring them over to your house and you turn on the computer and you take them into some dance club in Second Life. That would do it.
Rather not scare them off on the first date.
Right,
The second
exactly.
or third, and then scare the shit out of them.
Right. But you realize, if any of you have partners or just starting to date or whatever, somewhere along the line, you're all still in here. And that means something, doesn't it? Now, some of you might have brought in your partners in First Life, right? Date, yeah. They had a Match.com here in Second Life, by the way. You could have joined it. I tried to join it. And I asked whether they could fix me up with somebody. And there was a lot of silence.
Did you ask them in voice?
They asked me if I wanted to do a voice. I said, sure, I want to do a voice. Why not? You know? I want to talk, and I want him to shut up. That's voice. Oh, yeah. So we have, by the way, in 45 minutes, we have Alec Mays, if we find him. He's really terrific. So those of you who came for the music, you can spend 45 minutes.
He is in the building, folks.
He's in the building. Wow, that's
here.
incredible. That's great. Yeah, that's terrific. Yep. And how many people, it's a good thing that my show isn't on Monday, because Monday Night Football would kick me right out of here, right? I like what Haley said about that one time. She said she really needed two husbands. I asked why. She said so they could watch the game together. Haley says some very funny stuff from time to time. Yeah, no doubt about it. And the reason Dr. Fran likes that outfit that she's wearing, that color, the verdigris, is she's very into verdigris in France, La Bridges, anything that's sort of got a nice sort of like been around for a while, right? Yeah. So that's where that is.
That's lovely.
Next up, filler there. We tried for some filler there. We didn't get any. How about Catboy? You want to get up here,
All right.
Catboy?
Catboy.
All right, come on up. Let's give a big applause for Catboy. Get him up here.
Yeah, Cowboy.
Screen, just a second. Catboy's
Yeah.
up.
Go get 'em
Oh.
back in black.
Boy, that's a nice walk, Catboy. That's you must.
Thank
You know,
you.
if you walk like that in Second Life, you eventually walk like that in First Life. So it's gonna be.
Oh, great.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's just...
You know, it's like it's like crossing your eyes. You know.
Make that face. You keep it that way forever. Okay.
And thank you.
All right.
All right, we're back.
We're back. All right. Now, the police announced that they actually have the video. In a stunning reversal, Rob Ford has actually called for the video to be released to the general public to help his image. After he said that, to help his image. And after he said that, his popularity points went up by 5 points.
No way.
See, John Stewart brought a really good point. John Stewart said, this may be a good idea as Ford is trying to clean up the city by smoking all the crack in it. And by the way, for those of you who enjoy a drink, you might get a little nervous because he's also an alcoholic. So bartenders get a little nervous when he asks for ginger ale and he says, I want to drink Canada Dry. Does he mean that literally? Okay, I want to move on to the Pope. Anyone heard Pope Francis has punished a bishop in Germany, the Bishop of Bling. You know this guy? The Bishop
No.
of Bling. Bishop Franz Peter Terbatz von Ilz. Why is it everyone with a long name in Germany sounds like a villain in a Bugs Bunny cartoon? Bishop Franz Peter Terbatz von Elst spent $300,000 renovating his apartment. To punish him, the Pope has evicted him from the apartment, and he turned that apartment into a soup kitchen. I think that's brilliant. Yeah, he did. This is for real. Turn in a soup kitchen. It must feel real weird, by the way, when you're feeding homeless people soup and the bowl you just handed to them is a $2,000 Royal Copenhagen. Yeah, after you threw it to lunch, hang on to the bowl. It'll help you start your life over. Trust me. By the way, if you look up that particular brand, Royal Copenhagen, online, $2,000 bowl is the cheap stuff, which is what the Bishop Franz justified when he bought it in the first place. $2,000 a bowl? It's a bargain. Anyway, Bishop Franz has an accountant who is in Italy right now being interrogated by the Vatican over his expenses. Good luck getting anything out of him. His name is the Archdeacon Hans Schultz. Schultz, as in, I know
nothing.
Nothing! You know your audience is over 40 when they understand a Hogan's Heroes reference. Okay, quiz time. What do you do when you are caught with over $1 billion worth of art stolen by the Nazis?
You get George Clooney to get it back.
George Clooney. You say you were framed.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, I was supposed to upload a photo for this. It's Chris Has anyone seen pictures of Chris Hemsworth in the latest Thor movie? He's got super long hair in the latest Thor, and it's all braided and everything. Right? Now, Chris Hemsworth said, he enjoyed filming the latest movie much more than the previous one, because in the previous one, his hair was short and he had to wear a wig, and of course when you do an action scene, that wig gets moved all over the place and it's a big pain in the ass. But in the latest movie, he was able to grow out his hair a little, and they used hair extensions on him.
Oh,
and,
that's lovely.
And hair weaves, right? Lovely, gorgeous. But I want to see the scene in the movie where Thor is sitting in some salon in Asgard, and he's saying, "Make me look pretty, baby. Want to be the prettiest Viking in all Valhalla." Oh, God. Did anyone hear, and this past Halloween, some lady in North Dakota said that instead of handing out candy, she was handing out notes to children that they were to pass on to their parents that they're too fat to earn any candy for Halloween. Did you hear about that? I said, nope, your kid's a fatty. I'm not giving... Oh, God, yeah. Well, North Dakota residents said next year they'll respond by not sending their children to this lady's house. Instead, they're going to send a gay couple who are into interior design to nitpick about her Halloween decorations. You call this a cobweb? I've seen bigger cobwebs between Anita Bryant's thighs.
Oh my God! Ooh. Anita's in the house. You know, she's over there as an avatar. Oh, she's gonna see you later in the back.
Oh my gosh. Okay, now moving on. My dad bought a brand new truck while ago. Brand new truck. He traded in his Nissan Pathfinder and recently got a Toyota Versa. Now the problem is, it's taking forever for this truck to come in. Like, he's been waiting and waiting and waiting. Well, let me give you an idea as to how long it's taking. They just phoned him this morning and they said, you know, if you give it another 2 weeks, we can give you the 2014 model instead, if you want it.
You know that Toyota Versa, you know, it takes a long time to load. No.
We're uploading the truck now. You know, it just, yeah.
We're 3D printing it. It'll be ready in 15 years.
Don't laugh, man. That's going to happen someday.
They're out of plastic.
Yeah, we tried to upload your truck, but unfortunately the driver crashed, and now we have to reboot everything. Sorry.
The driver crashed.
God. Oh, God. Anyway, doesn't it seem that technology-wise, everything that is not a computer is really lagging behind in development? And I'll give you an idea about this. Like Lamborghini? Yeah. Well, here. In 1975, the very first home computer came out. Remember, the Altair 880 was created, and it's millions of times slower than the computer you have now, and that computer didn't even have an operating system. Okay, that same year, Ford released the very first of the F-150 series pickup truck. That truck in 1975 had a top speed of 90 miles an hour and got 23 miles a gallon. Today, the Ford F-150 has a top speed of 90 miles an hour, and it averages 21 miles per gallon.
No shit.
Okay, look, if electronics advanced the same way that automobiles did, the only way that you would get the punchline to this joke would depend on how good you are at interpreting Morse code. By the way, the LOL in Morse code is dash dot dot dash. I don't know what the code is for. You suck, Catboy. Get off the stage. And that's all I have for tonight, everybody.
Oh, bravo! Bravo! Fantastic. See,
Always funny.
we have a show. We always have a show. Somehow we get a show going, and sometimes we don't. I don't know what's wrong with this thing, but it's not working that way. Let's see how that's going. Everybody having a good time. I like that whole thing on Ron's call, by the way. That was really interesting because he said he wouldn't rule out other examples of plagiarism in his past stuff. He's gonna get a computer programmer.
Oh God.
You know. Yeah. In the future, he's gonna quote people nobody's ever heard of. People. What?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Is that what you were thinking? He's gonna quote people nobody ever heard of. Yeah. So anyhow, that's what that is. Yeah. I'll tell you, it's a heck of a life we lead, right? Remember the first time you tried to put in a belly ring in Second Life? Anybody remember that? You stretched it right through your stomach and out the door, and it ended up somewhere on a tree halfway down a block.
Yes.
I mean,
still have my
that's
first
great.
one, and I'm never gonna put in another one.
Yeah, do you remember when you were building a house and you had it all going, you were going really well, and you clicked, and all of a sudden it freaking disappeared, and you went, holy shit, what happened?
Good for texturing something.
Yeah,
Texturing it, then making it all one.
Yeah, you
text.
gotta lock your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only hire to build from the obsessive compulsives because they're the only ones who can match the prims together.
Gotta have OCD to be any good at this.
Yeah. And I remember the first skins. Oh, gosh, you guys remember the first lady skins, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I am telling you something. I was convinced they were made by guys because they didn't have the vagina in the right place, which meant that's why they were hitting the cervix. I had to come in here all the time. The cervix is down. The cervix is down. Yeah. Yeah. And how about Sculpty here? We were so excited when that came out. Wasn't that something? So you came back a little bit to see what you looked like, and your hair disappeared. You went, what the hell is that all about? Yeah. Yeah. Or you tried to modify it or change the color, and it came out orange. Yeah, it was just like using Clearol. Yeah. Yeah, now the new mesh here, that looks like, I know the girls out in the suburbs, you know, who spray with starch their hair. You know, that's what that stuff looks like. Oh, dude, you like my new mesh hair? Yeah, it really looks so natural. It's incredible. Right. Yeah. How long did it take you forever to match your hair, eyebrows, and everything all together, right? Yeah. Worst part was trying to get down below. I had to find Second Life peroxide. That was a bitch. Yeah, right, exactly.
What?
Yeah. And then when it comes to nails, nail polish, prim nails. Oh, remember those prim nails? You'd raise your hand and your little nails would go flying off into space or something, right? That's the fun around here. Then I finally decided to go to one of these Second Life spas, you know, where you could get everything done, your hair done, and everything. Anybody ever go to one of these things? They really existed. They had staff. They had 7 Korean women working there. At least they sounded like Koreans.
Oh.
Okay? At least in chat. Yeah. Hey, Witchy, how are you? Yeah. Also, okay. Yeah. So I remember going there. All right. So I was going to get a Brazilian, right? So they give you a pair of panties to put on. And they tell you that when they say it's done, you just, you know, take them off. Right? That's how they do a Brazilian in Second Life. Wouldn't it be funny if they did that in First Life? He came in and said, here, put these on. Yeah. Yeah. System skirts. I still have some system skirts, but that was really something, boy. They'd stretch that texture way out. Wow, that's wild stuff. And I remember when we began, oh, Alex Mays is saying something. Let's see. Alex Mays has a server. Don't give it to me. Do you know, Alex? I think you have to give that to J Wheels. J Wheels, would you get in touch with him? He's trying to put his server numbers in here, okay? J Wheels, are you still here?
It's
Is
taken
anybody
care
here?
of. It's taken care of. I got it.
Oh, it's taken care of. All right. Well, that's good. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember the first time you're walking in lag in Second Life? You're walking. You think you walked across the sim, and then all of a sudden it would pop you right back about 1 foot in front of where you were. What the hell is that?
Rubber
Wow,
banding.
this Second Life. Rubber banding, right. Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. And anyhow, yeah, I tell you, it was great. Second Life is just fantastic because you have all these things you never get to do, like look at me. It's what you're in First Life.
Well, we don't know what you're doing in First Life, hon.
Yeah, that's true. Here's some one-liners from famous women in First Life, okay? Here's one. I'm not offended by all the dumb blonde jokes because I know I'm not dumb, and I also know I'm not a blonde. Timmery, that's a famous one-liner by me. No, Dolly Parton. Here's another one. You see a lot of smart guys with dumb women, but you hardly ever see a smart woman with a dumb guy. Erica Young. Here's one. I want to have children, but my friends scare me. One of my friends told me she was in labor for 36 hours. I don't want to ever do anything that feels good for 36 hours, more or less have children. That was Rita Rudner. She also said this, my husband and I are either going to buy our dog or have a child. We can't decide whether to ruin our carpet or ruin our lives. Here's another one. This is from Wendy Liebman. I've been on so many blind dates I should get a free dog. Oh, yeah. And Irma Bombeck, you remember her. Never lend your car to anyone to whom you've given birth. Yes. Stu Grafton said if high heels were so wonderful, men would be wearing them. Roseanne Barr said this. I'm not going to vacuum till Sears makes one you can ride on. Yeah, Liz Winstead said, I think, therefore I'm single. When women are depressed, they either eat or go shopping. Men invade another country. Elaine Boozler. Behind every successful man is a surprised woman. I base most of my fashion taste on what doesn't itch. Gildner Radner.
Me.
In politics, if you want anything said, ask a man. If you want anything done, ask a woman. You all know that's Margaret Thatcher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who played Margaret Thatcher in the movie, guys? Come on, somebody's got to know who it is. Yeah, exactly. Best actress of our time. Actually, actress, actor, whatever you want to call her. She's the top. She's right at the top. Yeah. So here's another one from Margaret Atwood. Said, if I was going to convert to any religion, I would probably choose Catholicism because at least it has female saints and the Virgin Mary. I don't know if that's good or bad. Some of us are becoming the men we wanted to marry. A Gloria Steinem. Yeah. I never married because there was no need. I have 3 pets at home which answer the same purpose as a husband. I have a dog which growls every morning, a parrot which swears all afternoon, and a cat that comes home late at night. Marie Corelli. That sounds like Marley. Marley's not here, but Marley has to get all those things. Right? Nagging is the repetition of unpalatable truths. Baroness Edith Summerskill. From Linda Ellaby. I don't even know who these people are. If men can run the world, why can't they stop wearing neckties? How intelligent it is to start the day by tying a little noose around your neck. I'm a marvelous housekeeper. Every time I leave a man, I keep his house. Zaza Gabor.
That's got to be Zaza Gabor.
Yes, that's exactly who it is. And next up is our own Roger 990. Roger, come on up, Roger.
Hello guys, can you hear me okay? So I'm waddling across the living room, sort of like a penguin with my trousers around my ankles. You know, sort of like, I could be in the CIA.
Oh, no.
I'm moving pretty quick when my legs are tied. No, yeah. Going back to laying fudge. No, they didn't turn up. And sort of like, I just think, oh, sod this. I have the candy myself. And then I went out to sort of like, night clubbing and stuff like that, where I saw a lot of zombies. So, me head, darling, I told you I'll stop drinking. Oh, you're spitting out your juices. And I saw a lot of desperate witches. I want sex, and I cuss a spell on you. Oh, boy. Oh, God, you're desperate. I mean, I got into the nightclub, and the only thing that was scary about the nightclub is not the kind of bar staff that, had all disfigured faces and stuff like that. So, what do you want? Just a drink, please. They're fucking beer prices. $4.20? Get out of there. Shit. I mean, last time in my performance, I talked a lot about Doctor Who, but I thought, what would it be like to have a Dalek wedding? And I thought sort of like, they're up at the altar. Oh, I'm not so sure about this. You won't obey. You won't be my husband. Oh, you know about my sheenet maleness now. Oh God, I've tripped myself up there. First time for everything. So, you will obey. You will be my wife and become Dalek Empress. But I'm not a Dalek. I don't care. You'll be my wife anyway. I rack you up. And then the husband's like, "There's my girl up there. That's my girl." And then one comes back with a shitty plunger. I tried to unblock toilet, but it didn't work. Oh, no, we've got a cleaner for that. Maybe you can help me clean my plunger. No, I don't go that far. And then the other one goes up to the wife and I said, I tried to mix cake because I'm better than you. They give me that fucking whiz. Crap. Right, and Doctor Who turns up, said, I'll just park there. Ooh, and this is the toilet. No. Ooh, blue, my favourite colour. Oh, just park. It's just a Portaloo. And finally, I talk a lot about Star Wars, but I recently watched Return of the Jedi, and what a wind-up those Ewoks are. We are on the planet of the Ewoks. And even yes, they seem to be doing some sort of dance master. No shit! They're singing in rhythmic. I can tell they're doing a dance. Oh, they're fucking annoying. And the Imperials come down, everybody. Hold on, you're speaking English, yeah? I know. Everybody onto Han Solo's ship. Hold on. And they go onto the Ewok ship. Han Solo's ship, and Han Solo's got it. He's got the Chewbacca. He's got the princess that doesn't love him. He's got Luke Skywalker, and now he's got all these things. Han. They seem to be playing with my lightsaber and jerking off with it. And Princess Leia's like, "Oh, Han, I'm not in there, darling." Pussy. Oh, Chewbacca go, Chewbacca, don't push those fucking buttons. Oh, fucking going to hyperdrive, I love that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you've been absolutely fantastic. Thank you and good night.
Yay, bravo. All right. Yes, Roger 990. Yeah. I've never asked how he got the name Roger 990. We need to ask. How'd you get the name?
How many voices he's got.
Oh, there you go. Now we know. Okay. The number of voices. Yeah. So, anyhow, so you guys know that we're in here. We had a lot of computer problems early on, so we're going to have to do some old material just to make up the time. Yeah. So let's do some of the old material. Yeah. So,
hey, can I
you know
say
it's going to be a
something?
bad day in Second Life. How many of you remember Wednesday updates? Anybody remember those back then? You have to be back here for a while to know Wednesday updates.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
It was amazing.
We remember.
They'd be doing Wednesday updates. You'd be at work. You weren't at home. You didn't have your computer, and you were upset. Wasn't it amazing? Like, oh God, I hope. Then you get home and you try to log on, it wouldn't log on right away. Well, they'd log you on somewhere else. How about when they did that with a whole bunch of people you didn't know, you didn't like, and didn't want to talk to, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. So that was Update Wednesdays. I remember when they used to tell you, it still tells you this, like if you crash, it says you can't log on till sometime in Pacific time. So I always wonder if I've got to get on a plane and fly all the way to California just so I can get the fuck back on this thing. I don't know. That's a blonde joke. Yes, that's a blonde joke. Yep. Yeah. How many of you have ever been in Second Life, having a great time, TPing to a party and spill your glass of red wine in First Life?
Done it.
I did that all over the wall. It was unbelievable. Yeah. Oh, that was not good, man. Yeah.
I remember you, Lauren. I asked you a question one time you were doing a show, and I'll never forget your answer.
Yes.
We asked, the question was, if you could have anything out of Second Life and bring it to real, what would it be? That means teleportation, eternal youth, and your answer was a vagina.
Yeah.
And I just fucking fell out. I will never forget that. I was like, are you going to lay this on your coffee table? Or are you going to attach it to someone at some point?
Oh, yeah. On assessment day, Second Life disappeared. Yeah, they used to do that. That's right. Yeah. You know that you had a bad day in Second Life when you log on and you find yourself lying in a sex gen bed and you don't remember how. Why?
Bad day or good day.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember that, right? Yeah. Wow, I'll tell you, this new forced update is interesting. Have you noticed that? They force you to update. Have you seen that? You go to log on, and they force you to update. I think they're like aliens. They take you up, and they're doing some sort of like anal probe.
Oh!
Yeah, boy. I don't know what that stuff is. So anyhow, we're going to do something from the past just for fun because we don't have everything else. So for those of you who have not heard this, you might laugh. For those who've heard this, well, listen, what can I tell you? We got to use up some time. We're going to try this out.
We know where to laugh.
Yeah, this is one of the famous old, way back when, of the two greats that people like. This one's called The Stance, okay? And some of you like this. If you've not heard The Stance, raise your hands, okay? Well, actually, if you've heard The Stance, raise your hands. That way we know nobody's heard him.
I don't think I've heard it.
Oh, here it is. My mother was a fanatic about public toilets. As a little girl, she'd bring me into the stall, teach me to wad up toilet paper and wipe the seat. Then she'd carefully lay strips of toilet paper to cover the seat. And finally, she'd instruct, never, never, never sit on a public toilet seat. And she'd demonstrate the stance, which consists of balancing over the toilet in a sitting position without actually letting any of your flesh make contact with the seat. By this time, I probably would have peed already and we'd go home, okay? That was a long time ago, and I've had lots of experience with public toilets since then, but I'm not particularly fond of the public toilets, and especially those with those powerful red eye sensors. You know the ones I'm talking about, the ones that flush when you're finished? Yeah, you know those, right? Yeah. Anyhow, the stance is excruciatingly difficult to maintain when one's bladder is overflowing, and this is most likely to occur after watching a full-length feature film. During the movie, you don't go pee because it's nearly impossible to hold the stance because you miss a critical part. So you cross your legs and you hold it and hold it and hold it until the first credit rolls, and then you sprint to the bathroom, ready to explode. And at the bathroom, you find a line of women that make you think there must be a half-price sale on Matthew McConaughey's underwear. Actually, Matthew McConaughey is pretty thin in his latest film, you know? Anyhow. So you wait and smile politely at all the other ladies, also crossing their legs and smiling politely. And you finally get closer and closer. You check for feet under the stall doors. Everyone's occupied. You hope no one's doing something frivolous behind the stall door, like blowing her nose or checking the contents of her wallet. Finally, a door opens and you dash, nearly knocking down the woman leaving. You get in to find the door won't latch. It doesn't matter. You hang your handbag on the door hook, yank down your pants, and assume the stance. Oh, relief, relief. And then your thighs begin to shake. You'd love to sit down, but you certainly hadn't taken time to wipe the seat or lay toilet paper on it, so you hold the stance as your thighs experience a quake that would register 8 on the Richter scale. To take your mind off it, you reach for the toilet paper. Might as well be ready when you're done. Oh, the toilet paper dispenser is empty. Your thighs shake more. You remember the napkin that you wiped your fingers with when eating buttered popcorn. It will have to do. You crumble it up in the puffiest way possible. It's still smaller than your thumbnail. Someone pushes your store door open because the latch didn't work and your pocketbook whams you in the head. Occupied, you scream as you reach out for the door, dropping your buttered popcorn napkin in a puddle and falling backwards directly onto the toilet seat. You get up quickly, but it's way too late. Your bare bottom has made contact with all the germs and life forms on the bare seat because you never laid down toilet paper. Not there was any, even if you'd had enough time to. And your mother would be utterly ashamed of you if she knew, because her bare bottom never touched a public toilet seat, and her words ring in your head. You don't know what kind of diseases you could get. By this time, the automatic sensor on the back of the toilet is so confused that it flushes, sending up a stream of water akin to a fountain and then suddenly sucking everything down with such a force that you grab onto the toilet paper dispenser for fear of being dragged and frightened. Frazzled, you give up. You're finished peeing. You're soaked by the splashing water. You're exhausted. You try to wipe with a chiclet wrapper you found in your pocket and then slink out inconspicuously to the sinks. You can't figure out how to operate those sinks with the automatic sensors, so you wipe your hands on your pants, and there's nothing else for you to do. You walk past the line of women still waiting, cross-legged, unable to smile politely at this point, and you exit the bathroom. At this time, you see your spouse, partner, whatever, who has entered, used, and exited his bathroom and has finished the New York Times crossword puzzle while waiting for you. What took you so long? He asks, annoyed. And this is when you kick him sharply in the shins and go home. And this is dedicated to all women everywhere who've ever had to deal with a public toilet. And it finally explains to all you men what took us so long. That's the old one. There aren't any store dolls in prison. Yeah. Well, there is one in Orange is the New Black, Kurt. You know, just so you know, yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you. Do you remember the first day you were ever in like a sandbox when you first came into Second Life? Anybody remember that? Mm-hmm. And you oh look, somebody just just teleported out of here. These jokes are so good they leave. They must have had to go home. Good, really. They had to go to the bathroom probably or something like that, right? Yeah, so I remember the first time, so I'm there and I can't figure out how to res anything, okay? Nothing. And people are pulling things and making things. One person in about 3 minutes has made, you know, something that Elon Musk would have wished he had made, you know, like a cruise spaceship in moments, you know. Standing right next to me was a car. I thought, oh, I'll get in the car and drive that. I click sit, get in the car, and it throws me out. It says, you're not the driver. I thought if you're sitting in the drive seat, you are the driver, but I guess I wasn't the driver, right? Yeah. And I'm spending all this time and people making all these things. And finally, after all this time, I finally managed from somebody telling me what to do to create. And the little magic wand from Disneyland comes out and I click on it. And of all the things that we start with, it's a pine box, okay? Now, nowhere in the world is there a solid pine box anywhere, okay? They don't exist, but here they do. Yeah. Yeah. You remember your newbie look when you'd come in? You guys, do you remember when you used to come in as Ruth? We used to laugh so hard that we thought that was cute seeing you come in. Yeah.
No, I'm Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah, men with tits.
Yeah, right. Remember that? Men with Tits, the new movie. Don't forget to come and see it. In 8 minutes, we have Alex Mays coming up and stuff. Do you remember your first friend who deleted you? Wasn't that a shock? You know, they just deleted you. They used to send you a little message. Now they don't send it. Remember? You used to get a little message. Yeah. Fuck you. I don't like you anymore. I should have made another avatar friend of them and then defriended them just for fun. Ha I can do it too.
Yeah. So you like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember your first griefer? That was your husband. Yeah. Anyhow, Second Life moments. I love them, right? I remember when Voice first came, I went with a gal who ran House of Nyla. Does anybody remember House of Nyla? It was a really,
Yes.
she had both the first and yeah, it was great. And I went with her there to use Voice for the first time. So we get there, and she and you had to go to the special island to talk. So we get there, and we're chatting, and all of a sudden we hear about 20 other avatars are around. Maybe 5 males, a few dragons, and about 10 females, okay? And they all had male voices. And she said to me, she said, "Am I the only woman in Second Life?" Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, if you were having, sex, virtual sex and stuff, you have to use this keyboard. Apparently, Mac was the better machine for sex than a PC because, I mean, if you look at it, you have control, options, enter, command, control, shift, end. All you can do on a PC is alt, alt, alt. Hi, honey, I brought him 3 alts. Yeah. And how about when the system skirts, you remember that? You walked around like a construction worker, girls. Remember that? A little crack would show no matter where we went? Right. That was something else. Yeah. Yeah, I once saw in Second Life, this is great, only in Second Life could you find this. There was an event for Breast Enhancement 101. What is that about?
Gotta push that slider bar.
Yeah.
A class for that.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get off the stage so Alex can set up, okay? And I'm going to continue this until he's up and running. All right, Alex, you can get up on the stage and do what you're doing. And before we finish everything here, I want to tell all of you, you make Tuesdays so wonderful. I want to thank every one of you. We're not done yet, but I just want to make sure you all know you're all loved. And, yep, very, very much, because somehow I've deleted all my First Life friends. It's unbelievable.
Oh, I appreciate you making me laugh. I needed a good laugh.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Don't you find it so interesting how Republican congressmen hate gay marriage, but they don't hate gay prostitutes? I don't understand that at all. I'm working on that one. Now, here's something I never got in Second Life. You go over and they were selling vibrators. So I took it back. I said, instead of I had 5 settings, I said, yeah, nothing vibrated. I said, come on. Yeah. Anybody ever wear one of those collar? Yes, go on. What?
I was just imagining, you're a really attractive female, I'm just imagining some guy walking up to you in Second Life and saying, "Wanna fuck," and you come up in that manly voice and say, "My cock's bigger than yours, boy."
Yeah. Yeah, I could have gotten a job with Excite, because they were selling a Viagra over there, and I figured I could talk them down. I actually got in touch with the guy at Excite. I wanted to do the female voices on female voices. I figured he could put it up and name it Deep Throat.
Deep Throat.
Baby.
Awesome.
Just let us know, J Wheels, when everything's running, okay? You'll tell us, right? Yeah,
I
J
will
Wheels
do. Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's great. Yeah. How many of you, anybody ever have I don't know, how many of you gals had a guy, Second Life sex, and he couldn't remember what he named it in inventory?
Yeah.
Why did you look under One-Eyed Monster?
Oh, God, the stories I could tell.
He puts it on and turns out to be a Godzilla avatar.
Yeah.
Oh, little Jeremy.
Yeah, and marriage proposals aren't that good anymore in Second Life. Have you noticed that? Nowadays, I'd marry you, but you need to get voice morphing first.
Oh.
And do you notice that it costs twice the amount to get divorced than it did to get married?
Yeah. Well, actually, there should be a
Just like in real life.
pre-marriage chart. There should be the most money, and you have to see some counselor before you get married in Second Life. How many of you went to marriages in Second Life? You know, you bring presents and all that, and these people would get married and they take these vows. This is for eternity. I will love you to it. And the next week you log on, they were no longer partnered. It was incredible, you know. So I got so tired of that. I found a place that sold gifts. You give them the gift, they departner, and it comes back to you. You don't have to worry about it. You give it again and again and again. I had a friend who was an escort, okay, before Voice in Second Life, okay? So you can understand what happened when Voice came, all right? But one of her gentleman callers, okay, liked her so much he simply asked her to go back into chat only.
Oh, wow.
That's a statement, huh?
That is skills.
Yeah. Yeah. And I knew another couple. They met in Second Life. She lived in the state of Washington. He lived just outside, well, in Nottingham, you know, north of London, somewhere up there, okay? And they decided to finally meet and do the whole thing in First Life. And of course they did. And I actually was there when they did because I flew over to meet somebody also from Second Life. And but I wasn't looking for all the love. I was just looking for sex, and which I got, and that was good, you know. So anyhow, they got together. And they were together in First Life, and you know they've been talking about getting married and love, married. It didn't last 3 days in First Life, but what really surprised me most, they stayed married in Second Life. They were a really happy couple here in Second Life. They couldn't stand each other in First Life.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, another friend of mine said she'd met the man of her dreams on Match.com. They'd gone out and he was everything she'd asked for. This is a gal from Second Life. About a month later, I ran into her and asked how the relationship was going. She said it was over. I asked why, to which she replied, I guess I hadn't asked for enough.
Oh.
I'm about out of jokes here, Jamie. Save me now, okay? We did a show with no material.
I'm trying, Lord, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I never could get you to tell me what you was going to do with that vagina. Every time I'd ask you, you'd say, that's my secret.
I had a spot right in the bed next to me. Whoops, what happened there? Ooh, I'm bouncing around here.